Welcome to Founders Future, a podcast powered by Closers.io, where we dive into the journeys of innovative entrepreneurs and explore the road ahead for them and their companies. I'm your host, Zach Young, and in each episode, we uncover the stories behind impactful ventures, the challenges faced along the way, and the strategies driving their future growth. Today, we're joined by Ramona Kossowan, a gentle trauma release practitioner, empowerment life coach, and fitness professional for women 40 plus. Ramona helps women rebuild strength, mobility, and confidence through trauma-informed coaching, mindful movement, and sustainable nutrition without restrictive diets or extreme workouts. As a Moderation 365 nutritional coach, she focuses on eradicating food noise and supporting mindful eating, helping clients create balanced, resilient health rooted in self-trust rather than punishment. Her philosophy is simple. No diets, no burpees, very important, just compassionate, empowering progress toward long-term well-being. Ramona, a very warm welcome to Founders Future.
Thank you, Zach. I'm really happy to talk today.
Absolutely. We got a lot to dive into. I do like to start with your background, though. So before coaching, before becoming a practitioner, can you tell us what were you doing previously and what was really your inspiration for getting into this space?
The seed for being an entrepreneur was planted when I was a teenager. And I saw my mom build a business from the ground up while having 7 children. I was the oldest. And she built an incredibly impactful business that was fairly new in the industry at that time. It was in herbal wellness. And it just planted that seed when I saw not only the income and the impact for the family, but the impact she had on other people when all the odds were against her. So I started that route as a side hustle when my children were young. And that's the way I got my foot in the door doing a side hustle. But my side job, my full-time job was not this. It was actually doing payroll. Nothing to do with what I'm doing now. As I evolved and did some inner work myself and my children got older, I started to realize that I was needing to go a little different path, and the pieces came together bit by bit. It was never just a one thing. So fitness, I used to coach a holistic weight loss program, but my values have shifted with that as well. And what I come up against again and again was more the emotions coming in the way for women to make themselves a priority. And I was not satisfied with just accepting that. And I wanted to go deeper. So as I started going deeper with myself, some paths opened up for me. And I think that the paths are placed when we're ready for it. And I moved into more coaching. So first of all, empowerment coaching, which is an emotions-based work, and then gentle trauma release. So that is a separate certification. But when I became aware of how the emotions, the nervous system, and the identity are literally driving the bus on almost all of our behaviors, beliefs, actions, capacity, everything, and really understanding how trauma plays into it, it was for me, heck yes, please tell me more. Sign me up. I had to get trained in this, and it's changed my values forever. And it's giving me powerful tools to implement change in a way that I wouldn't have been able to before.
Love that. Quite the journey, but I just have to say, what just a hero for you growing up. Your mom had 7 kids and still built a business. If she can do it with 7 kids, we can do it too. Kudos to her. Kudos
it was just,
to her.
I think her too, she was following her intuition. This wasn't just like a good idea. And supports came in place, but she didn't have a bunch of family around and things like that, people rallying, and women were talking smack about her behind her back because she was doing stuff people were uncomfortable with. I think she just followed her heart and her passion, and the way unfolded.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. What got you to where you are now? And I know, like you said, a couple different things going on. Could you just walk us through what does working with Ramona look like today? Who are you typically working with? Everything like that.
Yeah. So I do work typically with midlife women. They're my I love you client. Okay. Typically women who are going through a transition. And when we hit 40 to 50, 55, there is some kind of a transition going on, guaranteed. So this is where all of the boxes we've created for ourselves and the patterns and the behaviors start to fall apart and blow up in our faces, all the while our body is saying, we don't get to do this anymore because we're going through menopause. I help women to revitalize themselves, fall in love with themselves again, and create a life they're excited about in a way that's deep-rooted, gentle, but also feels incredibly profound. So partly it's the deeper inner work and partly the tangible outcome-based actions. So both.
Got it. Okay. You got the deep inner work, and then you could say the fitness work as well.
That,
Is that
or
right?
depending where I meet a woman and what is she's really needing support. So when
Mm.
I think of, there's my bigger overarching process, which is helping women to like themselves, get out of survival mode, and be able to move forward. And quite often there's some nervous system and emotional work there. And then a little bit further down would be more with, okay, where is your food showing up in this? Are you stuck in a diet culture? Are you stuck in body bashing? Are you stuck in trying to get thin? And this is when there's trauma present, this is very common. And
Mm.
it just doing another diet only makes it worse. It actually does harm. And then there's also, okay, we need to feel powerful in our bodies. And it's not by just pounding the cardio, doing the burpees I joke about, because no client I've ever had likes burpees, never, ever. So it's how do you grab hold of feeling powerful in your body, like it, and be like, this is how I live now. I've mastered satisfied eating. I've mastered strengthening my body and listening to my cues. And I actually feel safe to feel my emotions, use my voice, set boundaries. So these are glimpses of what the outcomes look like. Not every client will work with me with every process, but I bring those values and that understanding to my work. So I will never work with a woman in a way that she's going to start hating herself.
You're treating the whole person. The whole
Exactly.
person.
Yeah.
Absolutely. How long do you find you typically work with women for? Is it a set period of time? Does it differ for different women? What does that look like?
Yes, it really does differ. For example, if I connect some of my most aligned clients are women who've been through a divorce or separation. So, for example, because that's a monumental tsunami of transition. And then what was leading up to that? There's a lot, right? So, with there, I might work with the gentle trauma release and empowerment coaching for a period of 2, 3, 6 months to unravel that and help her integrate that healing into her life, which it can start happening much faster than you think. And it, depending on where a woman's at, okay, has she found herself dieting and binging? Has she found herself having body image issues? Has she learned how to care for her body and make it a priority as her identity? So there's the length of time can be anywhere from 6 weeks, like a quick intervention in a crisis, to 6 months to a year. Because if we're still learning how to care for ourselves and even how to do strength training appropriately, sometimes you're just in the baby stage, right? So it is very flexible, but 6 weeks to 6 months is my typical window.
Yeah, that makes sense. Change takes time, unfortunately. It
Yeah, you
takes
can
time.
experience changes quickly. Like you can start to notice a difference and feel within shifts, but you have to integrate it into your life and make it part of your identity. And that takes time.
It sure does. Are you working one-on-one with these women throughout this process? Is there some group coaching involved? Walk us through that.
Primarily one-on-one at this point. So my online fitness, like my space here, I have a handful of in-person clients, but I'm in a small community. So that's not my main time. So I have a personal training app where it's one-on-one through the app or a group through the app. I'm still just shifting into looking at expanding my offerings in a way that I can still serve and still help women get outcomes. Like of course, the gold standard is one-on-one coaching, but not everyone's going to do that or have the means. So I'm just working towards like a guided cohort, like a small group where they have access to me, and some little micro mini courses for tangible outcomes that are very bingeable and you can implement like that.
Mm-hmm. Love it. So you're expanding,
Yeah, slowly.
unfortunately, we only have one Ramona, right? Not
Yeah,
everyone can have one-on-one time with Ramona.
yeah. This will be, I do want to be able to have offerings that are not just about me always signing up one-on-one clients, even though I love the work and it's profound. I want to give people, sometimes people aren't going to work with me one-on-one, and I want to help them get that outcome. And so far in the early stages, this is a newer thing. I've really liked how it's worked out so far.
Very good. Look into the back end of the business for a second. How are your clients currently finding you to work with you?
I do a combination of, I do some social media. I do networking. I find networking is very good because that relationship building, that safety and trust is huge. And then I do some speaking as well.
Nice. Very good. Okay. So for networking, we typically think business wise. This is more so a little bit of a different realm. So I'm curious, where do you go about, like, what kind of networking groups are you going to?
It's typically women based entrepreneurs. So all types of
Hmm.
business owners. I don't like the ones that are too stiff and businessy. It's just not my thing. So the ones that I go to are typically feel like more like a women's circle, like relationship buildings and the deeper storytelling. And it's more about collaboration. So it's not that necessarily everyone's going to just become a client, but it's very collaborative. And even me for them, like I know who I can send their way that they can help, vice versa. And that's really powerful for someone to recommend me to someone. It just erases a lot of the initial inhibitions.
Absolutely. Do they know and trust you? It's very easier to do when it comes to a warm referral, things like that. So that makes a lot of sense. You mentioned you're on social media. I'm
Yeah.
curious, what is your favorite social media platform and why when it comes to your business?
Well, I don't know. I think you hope the algorithm gods favor you, but it's really hit and miss. I think as far as having fun with it, I have fun with Instagram because of the reels and the trends and whether it's really helpful in my business, nah, not so much, but I'm learning, right? Facebook can be good for people reaching out, building community, and LinkedIn for more of the business connections that I've made. So for me, it just reinforces my presence where I'm already building relationships more than anything else.
Okay, got it. So that's an addition to the networking you're doing.
Yeah, like they'll follow me and other people will connect, and I end up connecting with so many people. And it helps to just keep me top of mind and help them to get a little taste of how I work.
Very good point. And do you have a team working with you at all, or are you a one-woman show?
I'm a sole proprietor and I do have support as far as I have a person who helps me with tech because I'm Gen X. I do not like getting up to my eyeballs in tech. And so she helps me with tech and VA stuff, but also she's aware of marketing. She has marketing knowledge. So she's not just a task implementer. So she helps me with stuff that I would find a little bit over my head. But other than that, it's mostly me. I'm in a mentorship right now, so I quite often do follow or connect with mentors at different times because I can't do this all myself.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm curious about the mentorship. Can you talk about that at all?
Yeah, I can share the name. Can I?
No, please go ahead.
Okay. A while ago, I started following Jill Coleman. Her business is Jill Fit because I've had a lot of mentorship over the years, and some has worked out and some has not. Even though they were good coaches, they weren't knee deep in the work I do, which is fitness and wellness and coaching and service providers. It's just not the same. So with JillFit, I've taken one of their certifications, the Moderation 365. When I learned about this, I'm like, heck yes. Can I help women stop breaking the diet cycle? Heck yes, I'm taking that. And now I'm taking more with the sales and marketing based training because I find that connection can be sometimes with business mentors if they really aren't knee deep in the type of business you have. So I'm
Very
enjoying
well
it.
said.
Yeah.
Good. Very good. Very good. Looking forward to the future. 2026, it's creeping up on us. Some would say
Mhm.
slowly. I personally say very quickly. I'm curious, do you have any goals you've set for yourself in the business for next year you're looking to achieve?
Yeah. So I am very much going to continue pacing myself, but I'm in a mentorship for the whole year. So I'm going to continue with one of the things I want to expand in is using some more platforms like Substack and Pinterest to share some of my self-led programs and help with that aspect because I haven't nurtured that at all. And that's the main thing I think is just continue with fine tuning how I share my message without burning myself out.
Yeah, and we're in it for the long term, right? This isn't
Yeah.
a 1, 2 year thing. This is 5, 10, 15, 20 years moving forward. So
Yeah.
pacing yourself, it's a smart move. Absolutely.
I have
Ramona, I want to ask you this because I feel like I'm going to like your answer. I'm
to.
curious on your take on the coaching industry as a whole right now in 2025, because it
Yeah,
seems like post COVID, everyone and their mother became a coach. So I'd love your opinion.
it's interesting. I think that as I'm learning, the niching down becomes more and more important. And it's not that you only work with one type of client, but your message needs to speak to one type of client when you share a message. And really decide, like, where do I most love working? And just focus down on that a little bit, and don't be afraid of missing out by letting go of some stuff that's you could do it, but would you love it? Are you the best at it? Let it go. And what I'm learning too, like it is a learning curve to stay on top of coaching business, is people are wanting to get a taste of working with you. They want to know you a bit more. So this is where I'm leaning into some of these self-led programs, group programs, or mini trainings. So people get a sense of what it's like to work with you and they get more accustomed to how you work and feel safe with taking perhaps the next step with you. That seems to be pretty important now.
Yeah. We can thank all the shady coaches, just weird stuff going online for that. Yeah, building trust this day and age, it takes time. That's for sure.
Yeah, and I think it's just people, they're sitting back a bit more. They're leaning back. And not even that they've necessarily had a bad experience, but it's just because you're charging $10,000 doesn't mean you're going to help me get an outcome that I want. So we're very much helping to understand what's their unique process and is it right for me? So that's what I'm also aware of in how I'm speaking to potential clients in my community is how does my unique process help them in a way that something else hasn't?
Very well said. Ramona, where can the listeners find you? Where can they connect with you online?
Yeah, so I'm on socials under Ramona K Coaching, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, I'm under my name, Ramona Kossowan. And my website is ramonakcoaching.com. I do have a microsite specific to my gentle trauma release work, and that is called gentletraumacoach.com.
Love it. Ramona, you made it easy on us. I appreciate it. Some people have like different handles for every single social media. So thank you for making it easy on us. Ramona K Coaching everywhere, ramonakcoaching.com. Love it. Thank you so much for your time. It was a pleasure having you on.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. And that will wrap up another inspiring episode of The Founders Feature. To our listeners, if you enjoyed this episode, make sure to go and connect with Ramona on all of her social media and website. All of those links will be in the show notes and description down below. And if you are a business owner, specifically a coach, consultant, or agency owner, and you're looking to scale your business, and you really want to enhance your sales and marketing efforts, visit closers.io to hop on a call with our team and discover how we went from 0 to 30 million per year in less than 3 years. Until then, keep on climbing.